Hello.
Hello, how are you? Long time no see.
Another cold one this week, so we're indoors instead of out on the back doing these.
Yeah, she can't brave the cold, white, snowy stuff.
So I'm Natasha.
And that's Paul.
And we live on our narrowboat, if you haven't seen us before. Welcome back to our weekly vlog. We're going to take you along for a ride on our narrowboat and show you the ins and outs of life on the UK canals. This week, we're doing it a bit differently. We've left the boat behind and gone on a road trip in the van to visit some restoration projects. So join us as we explore the hard work and dedication that goes into preserving these historic waterways for the future generations to enjoy.
And one day you might be able to join us on our boat going up and down them.
Yeah, so hopefully the end of the month we'll get out moving again and be able to cover some of the restoration projects on our boat instead of in the van.
Yeah, but we've got a little bit down here to do first, haven't we?
We have got a few more bits here to do before we move too far afield. So enjoy, put any comments in the description below and we'll get back to you when we can.
So that means you've got to push the button, ring the bell, it's free to you and the world. But seriously, share us with your friends, turn around and keep in touch with us because there's loads of action-packed stuff that's going to happen during the course of the year. So
we'll see you at the end.
See you later.
We're on a road trip in the van for a few days.
Way!
Stayed on the outskirts of Birmingham last night.
No, we didn't.
Sorry, it's a bit wobbly because we're driving. So we're just heading into the city centre, avoiding the congestion zone, parking just outside and going into Gas Street Basin to deliver some cleaning products.
Boom, first of the year.
Then we're heading down to the Gloucester and Sharpness Canal to spend a bit of time with our friends Lou and Dave. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Off of narrowboat changing pace. I think we're moving their boat with them today.
Are we?
It depends if they're fair with the boaters, doesn't it? I don't think they are somehow, because I know they were boating in the snow a few weeks ago, so I think it'll be a damp cruise this afternoon with them.
Yay! Wet.
Yep.
Wet.
And then heading back up to Dudley tomorrow to spend a couple of days with Paul's cousin. Packed agenda, haven't we?
Sorry, I'm paying attention to the road.
Yeah, that's good, you pay attention to the road. Tuesday we're heading to Stourbridge area, Sina and Gareth on cruising crafts.
See what they've learned new.
Really looking forward to seeing them, haven't seen them for ages. And then Wednesday we're heading to Horn Basin.
Oh, we know. Are we going through that tunnel again?
I don't think we'll get through there in the van. I think the van might be a bit big.
It might. Well, I don't think that. I think it might sink first.
So yeah, heading down to Horn Basin to do some research on restoration project for Dudley No. 2 Canal.
Ooh,
so that'll all be exciting stuff. We'll take you along the way with us. Rather than carrying 20 litre and 5 litre drums down the path into Gas Street Basin, we've decanted what we need into recycled bottles. He's got it all in a rucksack on his back. Just making the wet walk into Gas Street Basin. Here we are, just coming into Gas Street Basin. A bit quieter and greyer than last time we were here in the summer. With Gas Street Basin done, we're heading down the M5 now towards the Gloucester and Sharpness Canal to meet up with Lou and Dave and have a nice social time with them for a few hours. Not sure if we're moving the boat yet or not, it depends on the weather. They've just gone out to walk their dogs. I think they're going to make a decision once we get there.
She's a social butterfly.
Try and get all our visiting done. Well, we know lots of people in one area. Try and get it all done in one hit. Save a bit on the diesel. We've arrived at Park End Bridge on the Gloucester and Sharpness Canal. Now just to find Lou and Dave. We've made it to the windy Gloucester and Sharpness Canal. We're here with Lou and Dave.
Hi!
Hi!
Have you ever watched the Channel Narrowboat changing thing?
So we're just having a short cruise of about 3 miles with them to move their boats.
We're all experts.
We're never arguing.
As always.
We always are.
here at Sewell Junction is the Cotswold Canals Trust Visitor Centre and shop. It's an information centre. And just behind us here, just beyond all these boats and that crane, is the junction down to now what is Sewell Marina, but is the extension from the Gloucester Sharks Canal down to Cotswold Canal, which is subject to a restoration project, which the Cotswold Canal Trust are working hard to try and fund. So here we are at Sewell Junction. That's the section that goes down to the marina. Here is the old lock and the now disused arm down to the River Severn. So the Cotswold Canals was originally 36 miles of waterways which linked the River Severn with the River Thames. Funding was secured in 2020 for section 1B of the restoration project, which goes from Sewell down to an area called the Ocean. This section has been slightly rerouted and comes under this roundabout by the A38, obviously due to road networks which have been put in since the original canal. And you can see some of the original canal here is in water. So the Ocean is in between Bonds Mill and Upper Mills. We're going to go down to Bonds Mill next to have a look at that. And then section 1A is the next section from the Ocean to Brinscombe Port, and that is actually a navigable section which was opened in 2018 by the now King Charles. I'll insert some links below in the description so you can see more information about this project. And there is a public footpath here that runs down through it. But given all the rain we've had recently, it's going to be a very wet and muddy walk down through there at the moment. This section is actually known as the Stroudwater Canal, and it was originally opened in 1776 and was built for moving coal and roadstone through the area. Up until 1820 there was also a wharf here as well, which served a wide area to the south. And this area of Greenland is also subject to some heritage funding, and just 500 metres down here is an area known as Pockets Orchards, which is also being restored. As you can see, this piece of canal is still in water. Behind us is Bonds Mill Visitor Centre, which is open during the summer months to visitors between 2 and 4 on a Sunday afternoon. And then you can see the canal continues on that way. This was also an area which was used by the Home Guard in 1940. There was over 200 men stationed here, awaiting for the invasion and to protect the area. So this was originally an old cloth mill, and then, like I say, it was used during the Second World War, and it was used to manufacture equipment for the military as well as a defence line for the region. A circular brick section you can see on the top was actually a gun emplacement which was put to protect the mill, and it was built in 1940 as part of a national network of linear defences. A cloth mill has stood nearby on the River Frome since the 15th century, was owned by the Lords of Stonehouse Manor, and then became known as Bonds Mill in 1714. And then cloth production ended in 1934. Queen Mary, the Queen Mother, visited in 1941. And in 1938, the Sperry Gyroscope Company moved into Bondsmill as a backup for its parent factory in Brentford in West London. The visitor centre is also open at other times when there's a green flag flying in the summer months. And this section of canal and the nearby River Frome is also a haven for otters, as well obviously as kingfishers and herons. A lot of the original buildings have been demolished, but you can see just a couple of them still standing and in use here, and it is now Bondsmill Business Estate and houses some local businesses. So if you've been following us for a while, you'll remember from our vlogs last year we did the Silver Propeller Challenge down to Horn Basin to Coombeswood Canal Trust and got our picture, had a fun trip through Gossley Tunnel on the Dudley No. 2 canal on the way down. And this is the other end of the Dudley No. 2 section that comes out in Leasowes Park. At the moment, obviously not in use, needs restoration. And behind me, you can see it, there we go, that tunnel goes through and comes out down by Horn Basin. I'll put a map on so that you can see it. And we're going to take a walk down the section now to see what else we can see and how much water there is still in places. Walking a little bit further down the canal and away from the tunnel, you can see there's less reeds and the canal is in a slightly better state. On the opposite side of the canal there you can see sections of the original wall, and then as we move along you can see it does change. Part of the wall has already been restored a few years ago. There is also plans for a winding hole along this section. You can see here the site of the original stop lock. The canal carries on down in that direction, and once restored would connect, the Dudley No. 2 would connect down to the Birmingham and Worcester Canal, where it would join it at Selly Oak. Leasowes Park itself was transformed by the poet and landscape gardener William Shenstone in the mid-18th century. It's now a site of special scientific interest because of the rare fungi family that has been found here. I'll insert a picture here so you can see the fungi. So it's from this section here that the Lapal Canal Trust are working on raising the funds and restoring the canal down towards Selly Oak. We've come to the end of the section of the canal as was. It has got progressively more overgrown as we've walked down here. We've probably walked just under half a mile. Got the Lapal Canal Trust board there with the restoration information on it. But this is where the canal's going to have to be rerouted to get through to Selly Oak, because there's obviously building has taken place on the original ground over the years. So we've come to the end of the pathway now, and this is the A456. Those cottages over there were originally on the original route of the canal. So the question is, will they go under it or over it now? We've just been discussing it, and with some good engineering we'll possibly have locks to go down and under a tunnel and then carry on over that side, which as you can see is green fields still. You can see here one of the 3 lakes in Leasowes Park. And just behind us is the canal. Back in the day there also used to be a narrow gauge railway running along the right hand side of the path here next to the canal. For all those of you that wonder about the depths of canals, this is a really good example. You can see the walls at the side here, just a little bit of water in the bottom, and how deep the canal would be. In the car park there you can see the original visitor centre which they're currently awaiting for new planning permission to replace. So that will be a good hub to attract people in as well. We've crossed over the road from Leasowes Park, walked down behind the B&Q, which I'll show you on the map, and come down the lane. Here is Horn Basin. So on our video when we came in the summer, we came in from that direction through Gossley Tunnel down to the basin, down to that bridge. There's the bridge on the video with our silver propeller point, and then carry on down that way is the way the canal would go through, to go through the tunnel and join up with the section we've just been along by Leasowes Park. But currently there's some industrial building and parking in the way of the canal going back through that way again. So I hope you enjoyed that.
I did, thank you very much. Nice of you to include me.
It's always interesting to find out about the hard work that's going on with the restoration projects.
Road trip alert.
Yeah,
it was.
And the links are below if you want to support them, either by volunteering or if you're fortunate enough to be able to support financially. Because I know all donations to all of these projects are always very, very gratefully received. Very much so, even to us. So next week's video is going to be some new items we've purchased. Exciting times.
Told you, new year, new start.
New projects we're looking at.
Well, we've started it once or twice, but we've got a new toy to make it even better. And planning our travels for the next few months. So do join us to see how we plan where we're going and learn how we plan our travels, how we get notifications about canal closures. There's going to be a lot next week.
And how we decide what we're going to do.
The new bed.
So have a good week. Hope it warms up soon. Stay safe.
Push that button, ring the bell. It's free to you and the world this time.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
See you later.